Welcome to DeFi Crypto today. Our topic today is Immortal Monks and Monastery Finance DAO. This is a paid sponsorship. As always, this is not financial advice. Investing in crypto is very risky and only invest amounts that you're willing to lose. That being said, this is a very exciting project. It's very unusual, very interesting structure. Okay. Part of it started back in December, where the Immortal Monk NFTs were issued. And we're going to look at them. We see some examples of them here. Now, if you happen to mint the NFTs back in December, you would have paid 25 ETH for that, 0.25 ETH for that. And today, lowest price on OpenSea is almost 0.5. So already that's not so bad. You'd have double your money in the last few months, which is quite nice considering that the market's been tanking all over the place. And what's interesting is that if you own one of those NFTs, you get bonus yield on the Monastery Finance DAO, which I'm going to show you today. So there's a lot of innovations. These guys took their time to look at what happened with other Ohm forks, and they've tried to distance themselves as much as possible from the original model and try to take to keep what they think is the best of that model and fix whatever problems they saw happen with various Ohm fork. Okay, and that's why I'm talking about this, because it's very unusual and it looks very promising. I hope it really works. We're going to see different parts of the system, how it works, and some of the innovations that they came up with. So some of the key features is, first of all, you get an exclusive boosted APY if you own any of these NFT monks, okay? You get a big boost. Now, they use the community treasury for giveaways and airdrops. Now, you're first in line for the launchpad access, and also they have a new system of governance they call Governance 2.0, which I'm going to show you a look at. They have a Medium document that explains it in great detail. So we're going to have an overview of that. But I think it's very interesting because the longer you stake your tokens, the more voting power you get. Okay. And they also use liquid staking in there. It's very innovative. It's very interesting. So I think they have a chance of making this quite successful. So you stake your monk for meditation. And during your meditation, you earn a greater APY. So it's interesting. Now, they say holding a monk, you shall unlock the most rewarding DAO protocol that is released known as the Monastery. We're going to have a look at the Monastery today. Once you gain access to the Monastery, you'll be able to stake and pray, but the rewards are multiplied due to your monk's untapped power. So then putting some meditation magic in there. So they've got a roadmap. We're here right now, okay? And so if you add some of the original monks, you get access to the ICO of the Monastery DAO. Okay, so that's done already, that's finished. But you still have all kinds of other benefits. You can still get, boosted APY and all that stuff. Yeah, in Q2 of 2022, there's going to be a second generation of monks. The privileges are going to be somewhat different from the originals. The originals have greater power. But let's see here. Original monks will be greatly rewarded. Second generation monks will make the monastery more powerful with new and exclusive utility, unlocking more incredible powers in the DeFi sectors. So they have all kinds of innovations coming, which is quite exciting. I think it's definitely not a regular copy of the original OlympusDAO model. They're really trying very hard to come up with new ideas to make this sustainable and work for the long term. Okay. All right, so we're here. Yeah, the first thing I wanted to show is that they were KYC'd by Rugdocs. So if we go to their Rugdoc page, right here, you see that the Rugdoc certifies that they've been KYC'd right there. Okay. Now, if you're interested in buying some of the monks, you go on their OpenSea page. And as you can see, well, the lowest one is at 0.335. Very, very quickly, you find that most of them are at 0.4 or 0.5 ETH right now. Okay, so this is on the Ethereum network. So be prepared to pay Ethereum gas fees. Although right now, Ethereum gas fees are a lot more affordable than they used to be. Most transactions now are in the range of about $10 of gas instead of 60 or 100 as it was a few weeks ago. So it's a lot more affordable in terms of gas. Okay, so you've got like quite a collection of monks, some with rarer features and so on. So a lot of people have been buying monks and trading them and so on. You should definitely join their Discord page. There's already 26,000 people in there. They have a pretty big, vibrant community. It's very exciting. And if you go in the announcements, they talk about how to use the monks and how to get the monk token, which is used by the Monastery DAO. Okay, so the link to the monastery is right here. I'm putting that also in the description. Don't worry, all the links are listed there. This is brand new. This is from yesterday. The monastery is now live. If you participated in the ICO, you may now stake your tokens and begin compounding your rebase rewards. If you did not have the opportunity to participate in the ICO, you may accumulate monk tokens using the bonding process inside the dApp. I'll show it to you, but at the moment, I think they were oversold and the ROI is negative. Okay, but I'll show you another way to get the monk token. You can buy it directly on Sushi, and I'll show you how to do that as well. All right, so it's worth checking if the bonding gives you a good discount or not. Right now, it's not the case. I think they're oversold. Yeah, here to talk about staking your monks. Okay, so if you hold an Immortal Monk NFT, you can hit the token boost button. I'll show it to you. And stake your Immortal Monk when entering the token ID of your NFT you wish to stake. The monk rarity does not affect the APY. So the rarity does not affect it. But you need, if you want to boost your APY, you can use any monk no matter what rarity it has. Okay. So you can grab the number next to your monk, and upon confirming the stake, it will remove the Immortal Monk from your wallet. You can unstake your Immortal Monk NFT at any time, and it will immediately reduce your APY to the general public level. So you'll see, there's a really big boost. So it's worth considering buying the NFT for added benefits on this system. It's quite interesting. So how do we buy more monks? They say a monk, this is the monk token. Here they talk mostly about bonding, but right now the bonding is not very exciting. So here they say their main focus is to get all of the early adopters in and staking their monk tokens in addition to the Immortal Monk NFT for a superior APY boost above the regular one. As the protocol is rolling, investors are earning, and we are structured for stable growth, and then they're going to proceed through the governance token claims, pushing the voting forum live, additional omni-channel marketing, seeking advisors and partners, hiring paid positions for the monastery, and kickstarting powerful proposals for growth of the treasury and protocol. So they've got their roadmap set out. Okay, they're really thinking about this very seriously. Okay, I think that this new approach to the Ohm fork has a lot of potential. Okay, and I'm really hoping it's going to work, but time will tell. And there's always the market conditions are always interesting because sometimes they throw unusual situations to protocols. But this one, I think, anticipated problems that of whales, for instance. That's with the new governance 2.0 process. They think they found a way to counter the effects of whale dumping the token and so on. So we'll have a look. All right, so here's the monastery itself. So some pages are not yet active. However, you can definitely stake your tokens if you've got some. And here, if you bought yourself Monk NFT, you can stake your Monk here, and you need to put the token ID number. So if you go here, that's your token ID number right here. So you can put that token number, and then you stake, and you get a boost of 39,000%, which is pretty amazing. So this is the regular APY. So if you don't have an NFT Monk and you don't want to buy any, you're going to get this. But if you want to buy the NFT, or if you already have one, you're going to get an additional 39,000%, which is pretty good. All right. Now you could unstake your tokens here and so on. All right. So let's look at the bonds. At the moment, they only have one bond. This is the current price of the Monk token. And that's the price of the bond. So the bond is unfortunately higher in price right now than the tokens. So that would give you a negative yield. So I don't think it's a good idea to do it right now. But you should check if they have new bonds with a better rate. Okay. So if you see a negative rate, don't buy it. It's you're going to lose money. You need a positive rate here. Okay, we have a calculator right here to calculate your gains, and they've got a governance page that's coming soon. We're going to have a look at briefly at the governance 2.0 process. It's very interesting. It's very innovative, and I haven't seen anything quite like it yet. I'm hoping it's going to be successful. All right, so let's go back to this page. Now, let's say you want to buy the Monk token. Okay, and right now you don't want a bond because the rate is negative. So you can go right here to DEX, DEX screener, and you can click on the sushi link. So you click on this. All right, now you get this warning message on sushi because it's a new token. So import a token. So you can get your Monk here, and typically you would use DAI, because that's the pool where they have the token right now. And let's say you wanted to buy one Monk, it would cost you $13.64, which is pretty much the price that's advertised on the website. So yeah, so that's the way you could buy the tokens directly on sushi right now. Okay, now you should definitely follow and get a notification turned on their Twitter as well. There's a lot of information. Here they talk about the public launch, which was a couple of days ago, and so on. So there's all kinds of details here. There's more detail, a lot more detail on their Discord channel, but I like to be informed on Twitter as well. Now, let's talk about their governance proposal, the new system. Very long article. I'm not going to go through everything here. I'll just get to the highlights. So essentially, they reinvented, they call it a new way to govern, and I agree. It's very, very, very different. They talk about their ICO, which just happened. This is what's interesting. They say they've been watching the entire landscape and seeing what has happened with other own forks and have adjusted accordingly. This plan with governance has been one of the strategies they've developed. Working diligently to ensure that we have a massively successful launch and sustainable DAO over the long term. So they have a lot of plans, blah, blah, blah. So let's get into governance 2.0. Now, they say that they've seen that the traditional governance via purchase protocol governance tokens on the open market can lead to massive manipulation for the voting system. They were thinking long and hard on how to eliminate these problems to ensure that whales don't take over from the start. Because a lot of whales, they buy the tokens, they vote to liquidate the project or do all kinds of things that are not good for the long-term sustainability of the project. We've seen this with Wonderland. A lot of whales bought the tokens and decided, okay, let's liquidate this because they pushed the price. They actually were responsible for some of the problems. They pushed the price down below the treasury backing value. And then they said, okay, and then they bought the token at the bottom. And then they decided, okay, let's vote to liquidate the project so they can make a quick buck, okay, with no risk. Meanwhile, regular investors bought at the top, and then the price tanked and whatever. So it was quite a mess. And here, using the Governance 2.0 project, they want to eliminate these issues. So it's interesting. All right, so they say we've come up with a very solid solution after watching other DAOs and their participants' feedback, and we're calling this Governance 2.0. A step up from previous governance strategies, but with a twist. Basically, they're using the liquid staking technology, but it's not entirely liquid. I don't. It looks a little bit confusing. So if you're familiar with liquid staking, basically it's from, I talked about this in several videos. Liquid staking was pretty much invented by Lido, okay? So essentially you take a token, let's say like ETH, you stake it, and in exchange you get a receipt, the ST ETH token. And while you're staked, you're gonna earn some rewards, right? But let's say the price of ETH goes up a lot, and now you've got all that liquidity locked, and you'd like to reinvest that somewhere else, but you still want to keep earning the reward. So what do you do? Well, at Lido, you can do both. You can earn on your stake ETH, and then you receive a receipt which you can trade for something else. Okay, you can sell it for whatever other token you want, and reinvest that somewhere else. So here it's going to be, they're going to use some of that technology. You're going to get a receipt for your tokens that are staked, and that you're going to be able to use for governance. Okay. And the longer you're going to keep it staked, the more governance power you're going to have. All right, so let's have a look at this. You need to understand that these governance liquid tokens are simply just acting as receipt tokens that are not liquid. They are going to act as a receipt, as proof that you are participating in the staking pool. So you can have voting power only if you are staked. Okay, that's the important factor here. What is liquid staking? To understand what you're doing, you need to understand liquid staking first. Typical staking protocols, you need to stake your tokens, and then there would be a locking period where you can't access these tokens. That's the normal state. The lock period is of different projects, can be whatever they decide. This locking period is self-explanatory. They lock your token as a holder, causing them to become illiquid. So after you lock them, you can't sell them. They're locked for a period of time, and you're going to earn a reward during that time. But your liquidity is locked. You can't sell the token at the same time you're earning. And that's where the liquid staking comes into play. All right. So for Monastery Finance, basically, to get the governance token, you stake on the Monastery DAO, you mint, and get synthetic governance tokens. Okay. After the lockup time, you unstake your governance token to get them back. As long as they're staked, you have proof of ownership and you can vote. That's the whole point. Okay. So let's say you lock your ETH in the ETH 2.0 POS who first launched. The minimum amount was $25,000 of ETH for a 12-month lock period, and the return was 8%. However, once you lock your ETH for 12 months, you cannot sell that ETH that you have locked up. So if you deposited ETH at 2,000 and then it goes to 5,000, but you have 5 months left, you cannot liquidate your ETH until you surpass your locking period. Platforms like Lido, Yearn, and many others have appeared where you can participate in these staking pools and earn your APR from participating. However, they provide you with a minted token that's paired one-to-one with your investment, and the token becomes liquid again. Okay, and that's what they call liquid staking. You stake your token on Lido, they give you a receipt, and that receipt is liquid. Meanwhile, your original token is locked and earning a reward. So say you participate in their pool where you get a 5% APR. If you participated in the ETH regular staking pool, then you're locked up for a certain period of time. With Lido, you're receiving a token they mint for you. That's exactly how much you stake. So it's the same amount you're getting back. If you stake 1.5 ETH on Lido, you get 1.5 SEE, which is Lido's token they mint for you, and it's pegged to the ETH main price. If you want to liquidate your STETH, you can do that. You can easily transfer it to an exchange like Gay.io and sell it for USDT, for instance. Okay, so it's like having your cake and eating it. You stake your ETH, you earn rewards, you get a receipt, and you can sell it for the same value as the ETH that you originally staked. All right. So liquid staking is you stake your initial token and receive back a token that is liquid, meaning you can sell it. However, also acts as a receipt or proof that you're participating in that pool. It's simply another token. So what does that mean for Monastery Finance DAO? The Monastery Governance Receipt token is not going to be liquid. However, the token that's pegged to the main governance token is going to be liquid. So the receipt token is not liquid. The native governance token is liquid. So they're introducing weighted governance as well. That's another new feature. The governance token will be able to vote only if they have this receipt token. No receipt, no vote. So they say, let's use 100 governance token as an example. Let's say that the maximum supply is 1,000, for example. And that means that if you had 100 governance tokens, you would have 10% of the votes. Okay, that's how it works normally on most projects. Rather than granting it a one-to-one voting power, participants are going to have to lock their governance token for a period of time. And in return, they receive a token that can be used for voting purposes, but it will be weighted. How are they going to weigh that? So if we go back to the 100 token example, they're going to create a staking portal for governance token that have multiple different options for locking the governance token for a period of time. In return, they mint you a receipt token that's going to allow you to vote on proposals. If, let's say you have 100 tokens and you have multiple options for locking. Now, these are not yet established, as we saw that the governance page on the project is coming soon. But they're going to have various options. These are examples. They might be different in real life once it's live. But you can have a 1 week lock, 2 week lock, 1 year lock, 2 year lock, whatever. So they're going to offer several locking options. Okay. And you're going to see the longer you lock, the greater your voting power. So it says, however, each lock has a percentage reflection on your base staking token. So they have the formula here. It says the lower time frame you pick to lock your tokens, the less of a vote you have when your voting token is minted. So let's say you lock it for 1 week, you get 10% voting rights, means your 100 tokens will only count as 10 tokens. So you have 100 governance tokens, but you only lock it for a week. You can only vote for 10 tokens. The other tokens don't have voting power. Okay, and let's say you do 2 year, then here you would get 75% of the voting rights. So if you had 100 tokens and you lock them for 2 years, it's like you're having 75 voting tokens. Okay, not the full 100. And this is because they want to deter voting manipulation, okay, which happen at several projects like Wonderland and others. Okay, the whales bought a ton of tokens at the lowest possible price, and they figured, okay, if we liquidate the project, we're going to make a big bundle. And then they pushed for liquidating the project. And because they had so many tokens, many times they just won the decision, right? So here they want to avoid being at the mercy of whales. And that's why they implemented this governance 2.0 system. So they say here, whale manipulation stops here. Not only does this make the protocol much safer and trustworthy, this also shows how the monastery community health is doing. Basically, they want to make sure that regular people can take advantage of the high APY, not just whales and bots and other things, okay? They want regular people to take care, to earn passive income out of this project, okay? And that's why it's been designed like this. So if we have more participants taking their tokens for long periods of time, it shows the community is in it for the long haul, okay? So they want to incentivize people to stake long term, okay? This way it makes the project more sustainable. This also means that the tokens become in such high demand since they will be locked up, driving the price of governance tokens very fast to the upside. So they figured that if there are less tokens in circulation, because they're locked up for longer periods of time, that should push the price of the token up, okay? And that should benefit everybody that's invested in the system. The most important part is that it stops whale manipulation. If you paid attention to Olympus forks that recently failed, whales were quickly acquiring governance token at a rapid pace to make the needed changes fast. They wanted to acquire a lot of token, get a lot of votes, and influence the decisions and get the project liquidated so that they can cash out as much money as possible. And that works for the whales, okay? They take no risk whatsoever. But people that took all the risks saw the price of their token drop because of whale manipulations, okay? So, you know, hopefully this system will keep whale manipulation out of the game. So essentially, the small investor has the same say in voting as a whale if the small investor is playing the long-term game. So it's a three-way win. Can it still be manipulated? Down the road, they say it's possible. But remember the tokenomics, as at the very start, it's not easy because it isn't a heavy circulating supply on the open market. There's not a ton of tokens on the open market. And on top of that, well, a lot of them are going to be locked up for a longer period of time. So with this feature, we are implementing from the start, the supply shock for governance tokens is going to be immense, hopefully. So they believe that this is a very smart implementation, and they're going to be the first to really push forward with this system. They hope the community receives it positively, and they're always striving for innovation, stability, and long-term growth. I think it's a good idea. I'm really hopeful. I want to see this succeed. So I'm excited about this new governance system. It's very innovative, and well, we'll see if it works, right? So they say if you want to participate in the system, you can grab a monk off the floor on OpenSea. So it says that the more monks you possess, the more governance token you're going to be allowed to claim. Okay, right there, the link here to the OpenSea market. And all those links are in the description below. All right, that's it for this video. If you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell. Download the free book. All you have to do is put your name, your email address, and hit the submit button. Then you get a big fat button that says download the free book. If you miss that button, well, we're going to send you an email with another big fat button that says download the free book. And if you don't want to download the free book, that's okay. You go to Amazon, you pay $5.99 to Jeff Bezos, and Jeff will send me a whole $1. See ya.